Whenever a new gacha game gets announced, people always immediately label it a Genshin competitor. And while in 99 out of 100 instances that just isn't true, Wuthering Waves could genuinely provide Genshin Impact the only real competition it's ever had to face. Anime graphics? Check. Action combat? Check. Epic narrative? Check. Hot waifus? Check. Running up walls like Sonic the Hedgehog? Wait, what? Kudo Game confirmed over on Twitter on the 13th that Wuthering Waves, what is arguably one of the most anticipated, potentially genre-defining new anime RPGs, will be attending the 2022 Tokyo Game Show. With this in mind, I thought it would be in everyone's best interests to compile everything that we currently know about the game together into an easily digestible format. Expected release date, beta tests, gameplay, graphical style, potential console release, business model, and more. Before we go any further, I just want to take a moment here to thank all of the absolute chads and chadettes that support this channel via Patreon. You're all freaking legends. Seriously, each and every single one of you. I would offer to give each of you a kiss, but I suffer from severe intimacy issues. Additionally, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest MMO, gacha, and gaming news, take a second here to follow Mrs. Stix and I over on Twitter. We tweet daily. Wuthering Waves is a brand new open-world anime-inspired RPG currently in development for Android and iOS devices. Kudo Games, the studio behind the massive hit Punishing Gray Raven, revealed the project earlier this year and has since gone on to release several trailers, including the most recent one on September 13th, confirming their showcase at the 2022 Game Show. Kudo have not confirmed at present any form of multiplayer functionality. This game is built, first and foremost, as a single-player title. This is not a confirmation that the game will remain as such, however. On the contrary, given Punishing Gray Raven does in fact have multiplayer features, it's likely a safe bet to assume Wuthering Waves will as well. I genuinely hope that the multiplayer, if implemented, is better than Genshin Impact's. Genshin Impact has absolutely horrendous multiplayer. It's one of the few things that I genuinely dislike about that game. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it. Much like Genshin as opposed to Tower of Fantasy, Wuthering Waves is going to have a pre-designed character. The models we've been shown thus far do look very appealing though. Instead of preteens, it looks as though we might actually be adults. And I'll admit, I do love their outfits, very sleek. Yes, Wuthering Waves is 100% a gacha game. There will be premium currency that you can purchase, and you'll roll on husbandos and waifus, but given the fairness present in Punishing Gray Raven, I wouldn't anticipate Wuthering Waves having really bad rates. Wuthering Waves features what is arguably going to be the fastest, most engaging type of action combat in the entire gacha scene. Kudo took what they did with Punishing Gray Raven and improved upon it. Looking at the gameplay taken from the most recent test phase, we can see very fast, very fluid combat, beautiful skill effects, but nothing over the top. They're keeping the game and its gameplay grounded in reality, or as rooted in reality as you can possibly have a fantasy game. Yes, the game is 100% going to feature a deep, narrative-rich type of progression. My single wish for this game is that they don't ruin the story like Hada did with Tower of Fantasy, time-gating content, forcing players to wait an entire week to continue with the story. We want to play what we want when we want to. Time-gating content is a horrendous way of stretching out what is already an incredibly limited amount of content to begin with. Yes, it'll feature a fully seamless open world, meaning players will be able to traverse the entire thing without loading screens. At least the overworld, dungeons, and other instances will trigger loading screens, but that's to be expected. Wuthering Waves is currently confirmed to be releasing onto Android and iOS devices. There has been no confirmation of a release onto additional platforms like PC or console. However, given the success that cross-platform games have garnered in recent years. It wouldn't surprise me if Kudo revealed, as we approach the release of the game, cross-play between PC and mobile. This is just speculation though. Maybe they don't have the funding for it, or they just don't have the resources to support it at present. Regardless, players have been begging Kudo for a PC release of Punishing Gray Raven ever since the launch, so this is a chance that they should not miss and that they cannot pass up. Yes, it will. It is not confirmed whether we'll be receiving a simultaneous worldwide release, or if it'll release in China first, then release in other regions around the world at a later date. Given the overwhelming success that Punishing Gray Raven has had globally, and the advertising and marketing done for this game in English, I would expect the game to have a simultaneous release around the globe. That is entirely dependent on what Kudo want to do with the game. Everyone is expecting a 2023 release date confirmation, but the reality is, while a lot of the game might already be done, it could undergo a multitude of different test phases or alterations before being ready for players to play, and could potentially suffer repeated delays. Thus, it's impossible to say with any type of certainty. 2023 is definitely plausible, and I genuinely hope 2023 is when we receive it. We need a new open world RPG that is actually good. Yes, there 100% will be. Whether those are closed beta, open beta, or limited test phases remains to be seen, but there is no doubt in my mind that there will be additional test periods before the game fully launches. And that's about everything we know at present. Wuthering Waves is going to be an absolutely ridiculously large, high-quality anime RPG, and I cannot wait to see what Kudo managed to accomplish with sufficient time and funding. Now, while waiting for Wuthering Waves to release, how about you check out some insane-looking alternatives? There are a few anime gachas that'll blow your mind, or you could try your hand at the most popular gacha games in 2022. Might find something that you weren't expecting.